we have to address this. It's been a roller coaster ride this week with the announcement of Jimmy Kimmel being pulled off the air, and now it looks like just right before the show, looks like he's going to be back on. We have a lot of information to break down here, but Jimmy Kimmel is the epitome of Hollywood scum, in my opinion. He has been one of these talking heads for years. He's supposed to be a comedian, late night show host. And he's just out here screaming, fascist, Nazi, MAGA are the scum of the earth. He has been doing this for years now, dehumanizing and demonizing people who just want to speak freely and, support Donald Trump or whatever. He's one of the worst of the worst, and frankly, the networks had enough of it. So this was a clip that pretty much was the catalyst for a lot of this. Let's check out from Jimmy's own words what caused the suspension, and then we'll get into it.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to
Jimmy
get
taking
for about
clips
150
somewhat
years.
out of context.
And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction.
So, just to break it down, as we know, we covered this last week, over the course of the last week. This guy, first of all, Jimmy calls a kid. This is a 22-year-old man that shot Charlie Kirk, not a kid. They keep saying kid. Do you guys consider a 22-year-old man with, you think that's not a kid? Even if you're really old, that's not a kid. Legally, I mean, that's an adult man old enough to have agency over his own actions. So
if the government can arm you and send you overseas, you're not a kid.
absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah. And he keeps saying that we're trying to frame him as being something other than MAGA. This kid's not MAGA. First of all, I don't know many MAGA people that are into furry degeneracy and dating trans and homosexuality, and not sure he's MAGA. That's just my impression. So, what do you guys think? You think that's an accurate assessment?
Honestly, I think it's just cope. Frankly,
Yeah.
I don't know how much better to put it. Yeah, and it's okay. I see you, Mrs. Rough Knight. You're right. The frontal lobe does not finish until forming until you're 25. That's true. However, for whatever reason, we have decided that 18 is a number where you become an adult. Now, and frankly, let's be realistic here for a second. 100 years ago, the maturity of your average 15-year-old
Oh yeah.
was astronomically above what it is now. We've infantilized children in this country, teens in this country, college students in this country until, yeah, in practice, you know what? A 25-year-old might have the emotional maturity and intellectual maturity of what a 15-year-old a century ago had. But at some point, you have to draw a line of when are you going to draw the line and hold someone accountable, and discipline has to be part of it.
Yes. And people don't seem to remember we had 13-year-olds fight for the independence of this nation in the late 1700s. People don't remember we had 13-year-olds with guns, and they fought for our nation's independence. And not saying that we don't need kids on the front lines now. That's not what I'm saying. But to call this man that shot Charlie Kirk a kid who is MAGA, who is not a degenerate, is insane. Just because he comes from a Republican family doesn't mean he wasn't indoctrinated in the college system. And so Jimmy got a lot of kickback from that, and we're going to be getting into that. The show was basically suspended. Nexstar announced it will drop Jimmy Kimmel's show from ABC stations for the foreseeable future following vile Charlie Kirk comments. And then right after that, Sinclair Broadcast Group which I'm trying to share the page. It doesn't want to cooperate. Sinclair Broadcast Group says Jimmy Kimmel's show won't return until, quote, appropriate steps have been taken to uphold the standards of expected of the broadcast platform. They also want Jimmy to issue a public apology and make a donation to Charlie Kirk's family and Turning Point USA. So, what do you guys think? Do you think these broadcasting companies do? Because the left is framing this as an infringement on free speech.
Well,
Do
I
you
mean,
consider? I don't think so. What do you think?
Gina Carano exposed how they would do people in her situation with their struggle session with 60 Black Lives Matter and trans people and all that. Well, why don't they turn the table on him and make him talk to 60 TPUSA members for a day?
I don't really see an issue with that because he is definitely in a echo chamber and a bubble, and he thinks that L.A. is the rest of the world. It would
Well,
seem.
and make no mistake, like he is there because they wanted him to be there. He is the
Absolutely.
mouthpiece for the establishment, and he is saying the things that they wanted him to say. Now they're getting flack and pushback for that, and so they're trying to throw him under the bus and specifically say, well, like it was all his fault. But like, no, it was from the top down at corporate, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Without a doubt. That's what it was. And it was basically consequences of his own actions. Defaming Charlie Kirk and, putting out false information about this man that killed him and everything. It's ridiculous. And we have all these celebrities, such as Mark Ruffalo and Michael Keaton, which we'll be getting into. Disbrew posted this, and it says here, he says, I fully believe Mark Ruffalo has no idea what the F is happening at any moment in time. This is from Mark Ruffalo's own words. And we'll just play the clip, so we'll have to read it.
We saw Jimmy Kimmel's show was canceled. We don't know what the reasons are, really. It's very cloudy and murky. I don't understand what's happening right now. My industry doesn't understand what's happening right now. But what they do understand is our freedom of speech is being attacked.
So he said we don't know the reason. Sinclair made it bright as day. Jimmy Kimmel needs to retract his statements, make a formal apology, and possibly a donation.
I mean, if Disney had their way, nothing would have happened to him. It's the power of their customers, the media companies that buy their shows based off of their advertising revenue that they could get for the show. So they exerted their power over Disney, and there's nothing Disney can do except try to get their support back from their affiliates.
Yeah, and they have been bleeding support this week, guys. Did you ever think we would see the day when we saw massive amounts of leftist, famous people, all the sorts, calling for the cancellation of Disney Plus? So this was from ALX on X. They're boycotting Disney. Brian Krasenstein, Keith Edwards, Brooklyn Dad, Crackhead, Joe, that JoJo chick, all these people terminating Disney Plus. Boycott everything affiliated with ABC and Disney. I stand with Jimmy Kimmel. F you, Disney. Boycott Disney. Boycott Disney, cancel. All these leftist accounts. Guys,
have they accidentally seen GraphWeb's posts?
I know, hashtag cancel Disney Plus. It's like, dude, that's our thing. I was told I was racist, misogynistic, bigoted, xenophobic for being against Disney. I mean, what do you guys think? Are these a bunch of racist homophobes? Or, what's the deal here? Why are they supporting the cancellation all of a sudden?
I was just really curious to see what Pedro Pascal was going to do given his upcoming roles. And I was hoping to see where that would go. But I think I don't know if you saw it. There's an ACLU open letter supporting free speech and condemning the suspension that over 400 of these Hollywood celebs have signed. And I scrolled through the list and was just like, oh my gosh, hypocrites. All of you. If in any way the shoe was on the other foot, these are the people who would be absolutely applauding some conservative pundit getting canceled, getting his show canceled.
Absolutely.
Well, and we saw that with Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
we have that pulled up. Yes, we have that pulled up. So they will cry and everything when it's the shoes on their foot. But if I had, okay, I don't have the compilation right now. ABF did send it to me, but I wanted to show this. Howard Stern is speaking up. I didn't even know Howard Stern was still relevant. I, haven't heard that name in a while. But Howard Stern has announced that he's, quote, stepping up and canceling his Disney Plus subscription because of Jimmy Kimmel's firing. So why didn't Stern step up when Gina Carano was fired? Did he not believe in free speech then? That's a very interesting double standard, guys. They're willing to do it when their guy gets fired, but not when Gina Carano does.
You see, back then he didn't have a Verizon subscription with a free Disney Plus account. So now that he does,
Yep.
he can cancel it.
Absolutely. And, it's just double standards from these people all the way. So we have this example. This was a fantastic compilation that was uploaded. And they did not have that reaction whatsoever when any of our people were canceled. Before we get into that, I just want to address Jake Martin. Thank you so much for gifting a membership over on Kick, channel membership. We appreciate that. And looks like it hit Gaming Ronin, so that's awesome. Thank you,
Nice.
Jake, for your generosity. We appreciate it. So thank you for your donation to the channel. We appreciate it very much. Now, this compilation is just a repost to any leftist crying about Jimmy Kimmel. It should shut them up. It won't, but at least it shows how much this is all just an act, fake outrage. They are beyond pathetic. This is a very fun watch. So let's check this out. We can pause as we go along, but this is very telling. When Trump got banned, Gina Carano fired, all of this. The double standard from the left, all the way.
Twitter banned the president permanently. Oh, damn! They took away his precious.
Well, Facebook upheld their ban of Donald Trump today for at least another 6 months.
It is so funny to watch the Trump supporters and the Republicans melt down over Tucker Carlson getting fired from Fox News.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson.
And mind you, AOC is the same person that said deplatforming works. That's her official quote. Deplatforming works. But when Jimmy Kimmel gets his feet held to the fire for things he said, they're not too happy about it. Are you guys smelling the hypocrisy off of all this from these people?
I'm drowning in it.
Yeah,
I'm like treading water over here.
absolutely. Me too.
I think there's also a gray area, kind of as in, like, whether somebody is operating as their own individual person or whether they are representing a company, right? And it's like, if you are speaking on your own behalf, then it's a freedom of speech issue. If you are
Yes.
saying something on behalf of a company and it's not well accepted or, like, popular at the time, okay, that's not a free speech issue. That's the, public basically deciding that they disagree with you.
Yeah. And it's also the public saying, I'm not buying what you're selling. I don't like your product. I don't want to tune in. And I just wanted to show this too. It would appear that his ratings were in the dumps.
Oof.
Tim Pool posted this. Holy shit. Kimmel was only getting 129,000 viewers. Look at this. The advertiser coveted 18 through 49 demo almost cratered. Kimmel averaged only 129,000 viewers in that bracket. So that is the most desired bracket for advertisers, 18 to 49. Only 129,000 viewers. That is that's ridiculous. I mean, we get some more viewers than that on some of our posts on Twitter. I mean, all of us. It's like, what the heck are these people expecting? This is a dead show that is just pretty much watched by, like, I think the elderly and people.
The elderly are asleep by then, so it's not even
exactly.
them.
Exactly. Yeah, it's their cat watching it.
And Kimmel went out there and he tried to claim that it was just a bunch of people taking what he said out of context and twisting its meaning, and that's not what into something else that he meant. Even the Hollywood Reporter put out a bastion of journalism and integrity. As we all know, but they put out an article saying, if you're widely misinterpreted for something you said or did, it's not your audience's fault, it's your fault. And I was just like, well, that's a take I didn't expect to see.
Right. Well, I mean, they're trying to straw man the argument about him getting fired to his celebration or condescension at Charlie Kirk. No, it's his labeling of his offer as part of his movement.
Very true. Very true. And yeah, it would be interesting, as Mrs. Roughnight said, what kind of numbers do the other late night shows get? Would be nice to see as a comparison. Who watches late night shows? I can tell you, I don't. I watch streamers.
I don't think they're getting great numbers. I think they're basically kept around as a prestige kind of program where they can say, hey, look, we have the Tonight Show, or we have like late night or whatever. And like it's kind of an established brand and franchise. And so the advertisers are banking on that name brand recognition, but nobody's actually watching this stuff.
Yeah, the only show in that time slot that gets any kind of numbers is Gutfeld on.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, he's the king of late
3.6 million viewers. It's their average.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, Greg Gutfeld is pretty funny, and even the vice president tuned in on this. Kimmel wasn't funny. His ratings were in the toilet, and the advertisers were revolting. Also, the belly aching from the left over free speech after the Biden years fools precisely no one. Very true. Yeah, many people to the right of Joseph Stalin. Anybody to the right of Joseph Stalin was being canceled, deplatformed, censored. After Elon bought Twitter, we found that we had much government influence in Twitter. And so, yeah, the belly aching from the left is pretty pathetic. Basically, it's unsubstantiated and it's hollow. So
yeah, the hypocrisy is astounding.
Yeah, yeah, and ABF mentioned Leno and Conan. Yeah, we're pretty solid. A lot of people are big fans of them still. I've heard nothing but good things.
Dude, I grew up on Johnny Carson and then Leno. I was sad when Carson left because, it was a treat to get to watch him growing up.
And he was a very big advocate. He said, "You're not here to platform." To preach at people or you put your political views on full standing. It's like you're not essentially a influencer. What's the point he was getting? You're not here to influence people. You're here to entertain people. You're here to provide entertainment and laughs for people, not to try to influence their thinking, to any extreme way. And as a result of this, Disney has lost $3.87 billion overnight because of Jimmy Kimmel. So I think we need to bump those numbers up. I don't think that's enough, actually.
You know what that equates to? Their stock went from 116 to 112. That's it.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's a drop in the bucket for
drop
Disney.
in the bucket.
Yeah. But, yeah, Jimmy has not taken this well. He is reportedly throwing a nuclear fit over ABC, Disney pulling the show after Charlie Kirk comments. We'll just quickly go through this. ABC pulled the plug after FCC pressure. His remarks quickly drew condemnation, and people from every point of the political spectrum were calling him out because he was being absolutely heinous with this. Kimmel's reported fit behind the scenes. The Daily Mail cites unnamed insiders who say Kimmel is outraged, holding crunch meetings with ABC executives, and actively seeking ways to break his contract with the network. And the crew over at Nerdrotic, they were saying on Friday Night Tights, and I agree with them, it looks like he's going to jockey for a podcast. It looks like he's doing everything to break his relationship, go his own way, and do the podcast route, which I don't think will be successful. But, I mean, what do you guys think? You think that's the road it looks like he's heading, or trying to head anyway with this?
Well, not if he has his show back, which, ABC... Walt Disney... have you guys actually seen Walt Disney's comment they made? Like on their statement? On reinstating him?
No.
Oh, just... briefly, it's very brief. I'll just explain it to you. In their own words, last Wednesday, we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. It is a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision.
I think we lost Lex.
To return the show on Tuesday. He's going to get a show back, and because there's not many late night shows that are gaining year-over-year growth. In fact, again, The only one I can think of off the top of my head is Gutfeld. But
Well, that's like I was saying, because of he's a mouthpiece for their agenda.
Exactly right. That's what he is. He's a propagandist, and yeah, I have no sympathy for the guy. And it looks like, according to today, he's allegedly back on the air, and this is going back and forth. The information right now, we're having a hard time getting our finger on the pulse. This is from that Park Place. This is from today. It says here he's back on the air. Disney caves to progressive backlash, frames offending comments as insensitive rather than disinformation. So they're trying to frame everybody's perspective, saying it was just insensitive, guys. It wasn't disinformation. So they're
There's the
trying to
deflection I
rewrite
was talking
history.
about.
Yes. They're trying to rewrite history here, and I don't think we can let them. We need to hold their feet to the fire on this stuff, because this was absolutely disinformation, and it was just false. Absolutely just straight up false. What do you guys think? Do you think Disney is right to cave to this, or I mean, what's your thoughts on this, guys?
I think if there wasn't a backlash, they would have just let him go. I think this was an excuse to get rid of him. And the only reason they're bringing him back is because they're having all of these celebrity figures come out, freak out, call it an attack on free speech, call for these boycotts and all that stuff. And they're caving. I think they're caving to that. Do I have any proof of that? No, but that's just the feeling I've got. Is I think if it wasn't for the way that the leftists in Hollywood, which is also known as 90% of Hollywood, I think if it wasn't for that, they would have just let him go and been like, oh, thank God we finally had an excuse.
Right. Yeah, very possibly because of those low ratings. And yeah, just to address this comment, what a lot of it was Jimmy essentially saying, the shooter
He said
was.
that MAGA was busy trying
Yeah.
to pretend that the shooter was anything but MAGA.
Yeah. And which, from the
After
information
it
we've
was
gathered,
found out how big of a leftist he was.
yes, a degenerate freak, and definitely not MAGA, to say the least. Just because he had a Republican family. I mean, just because you come from a family that believes something, you can go off on your own and change your mind and totally radicalize.
How many
You
of
know,
you,
so
how many of any of us have the exact same ideology as our parents? I mean, honestly.
I mean, nobody does. We all disagree
Yeah,
with our
nobody.
parents on something, and this guy obviously
Somewhat.
went the extreme other direction. I mean, we all
Everybody
have
goes to
different
dinner
opinions.
with grandpa and has the uncle that's the wild one. It happens.
Yeah, nobody's ever going to see eye to eye on everything, but yeah, this guy went the total opposite direction. He went off the he went off the radar with this stuff.
And
Here's that quote I read.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that was it. I just said he just
Oh yeah,
passed.
no,
That's
there
the
it is.
quote I
Yep,
read.
what Lex read. What were you going to say, Chaz?
I was gonna say, I feel like this individual, I guess it depends on if you feel like he acted alone or not. I feel like this individual was chosen specifically because he could be representative of both demographics.
Very possibly.
And that's why he was selected and
Yeah.
put up to this.
That
Which
and
we do
because
know-
of his background, he
I
had
also think
training in firearms and
I
whatnot.
think it's really interesting that they went after Charlie Kirk, of all people, somebody who is
Yeah.
like very moderate, but whose death would be sure to inflame both sides.
I think they went after the moderate because it's the moderates who access the normies the most, and it's not even I don't even want to say the word radical. It's just not the far either direction people that access the normies. He was accessing the minds of the youth and just showing them moderate conservative values, and that's great. And like you said, these intelligence agencies, whatever it may be, CIA, Mossad, whatever, they do go after these these crazies with these gray backgrounds, and they're going to frame it as, possibly, oh, look, and now all the leftists are saying he's MAGA, and they believe it in their own mind now. And there's no convincing these people once they latch on to that. And
Yeah, I
even
mean,
though the
I
evidence
saw-
shows otherwise.
I saw a survey showing that only what was it, like 33 or 38% of Democrats believe that he is a MAGA person.
Insanity, even though we've proven otherwise. And yeah, so they believe whatever they want to believe, and they live in their own little echo chamber and bubble. But I just want to show this. Apparently, this is after what we just read. Sinclair Broadcasting Group is still refusing to play Jimmy Kimmel's show when it restarts tomorrow, apparently. So, the broadcaster previously demanded an apology from Kimmel and a donation to Turning Point USA. They're still refusing to air him. This is from now. So, we're going to see how it goes tomorrow. Apparently when the show is supposed to come back on, but we will have to see. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I know I won't be watching it. That's for sure. But
Did the other media group say anything yet?
There's no information that I've
news?
gathered on that yet. But Sinclair is still refusing to play Jimmy Kimmel show. So they want to pin this to Trump, to MAGA. This is government censorship of free speech. It's fascism. No, it's this company Sinclair saying we don't want to platform this asshole anymore. Basically, that's all it is. It's maybe if he moderated his rhetoric, maybe they would want to platform him. What were you going to say?
I have a question. I've seen in several places them claiming that the FCC put pressure. I have not seen any evidence that that is true. I would be uncomfortable with the FCC threatening licenses and things over whether or not a specific person gets fired. That irks me, but I haven't seen any proof of that. I've seen people claiming it, but I haven't seen any proof of that. If it is true, yeah, that bothers me. Independently of whether or not the government, independently of whether or not the company wants to fire the guy, a company can do that. That's the consequences of your own action if your company fires you for what you say. But if there is evidence that the FCC was doing this, I would be uncomfortable with that.
Then it's government overreach.
Yeah, and that whole line of reasoning that they've been giving is just an appearance of the FCC commissioner on Benny Johnson's show. That's all. No other evidence. Just an interview with Benny Johnson.
And so far, that's from the information we have. We are seeing that a lot of this is just like as simple as this: Sinclair Broadcasting refusing to play the show, and that's the information we have.
The cynic in me thinks that all of this is designed to drum up, some controversy and some excitement around his show, so that more people watch.
I would absolutely believe that. I think that's a very strong possibility. The leftists who were not interested previously, now he has a cult following. It stirred up the war drums in their mind, and they're trying to frame him as we have our legitimate martyr on, Charlie Kirk, love him or hate him, agree with him or disagree with him. I disagree with him on several things, whatever, but he is a Christian martyr. He was killed for his beliefs and speech and stuff, and they're trying to equivalate that to Jimmy Kimmel being kicked off the air. And they're saying, we are all Jimmy Kimmel. We are, this is our equivalent. They're trying to counter-signal it with Jimmy Kimmel. And it's not working in the minds of most. But like you said, Chaz, it might in the minds of the radical left, in the minds of some. They might really rally behind him, and it might spike the numbers just out of cult following ideology,
And his views will go from tens to dozens.
Yes.
And it'll only last a week because those types of people don't have the attention of goldfish.
Very true. Yeah, we'll have to see the longevity of the show if it stands on its own feet going forward.